Canadian singer-songwriter Hayden is the driving force behind a concert aimed at helping a community and a school unlike any other. The 9th annual Dream Serenade took place over the weekend, a project that is deeply personal for the musician and his family. It's a star-studded event at Toronto's legendary Massey Hall, a benefit concert for a unique school and the families it serves.
It is the greatest school you are ever going to step foot into, and you're never going to want to leave.
Toronto's Beverly School caters to students with exceptionalities, those with developmental disabilities, students like 14-year-old Gray.
Gray, how's it going? I love your hair.
Gray was born with a rare chromosomal condition.
There was a lot of worrying about her survival and if she was going to be okay.
Not only has she survived, she's thrived during her years at Beverly.
She shines there. She loves her friends. Hi, Gray. She loves the teachers. She does the snack program.
As a way to give back to the school, Gray's dad, singer-songwriter Hayden, came up with the idea of an annual benefit concert called the Dream Serenade to help the school and its families.
As our shadows reach to the bar.
Over the years, the show has featured some big names: Gord Downie, Serena Ryder, and the Bare Naked Ladies, just to name a few, raising hundreds of thousands of dollars.
You're attracting the biggest and the best artists from across this country. To see it become what it is now, how does it make you feel?
Yeah, well, it makes me feel amazing.
A feeling shared by an adoring audience.
Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone. Till next time.
Those kids are amazing, and you can meet them and meet the stars behind the Dream Serenade in our profile airing on W5 tomorrow at 10 p.m. on CTV. That's a snapshot of this Thursday. Heather Butts will be here tomorrow. For all of us at CTV National News, good night.
Tonight, tracking a suspected mass killer, a lockdown lifted, and a sprawling manhunt over after a deadly shooting rampage. The search along a river.
The Maine State Police have located the body of Robert Card in Lisbon. He is dead.
And new details about the victims from a traumatized community.
Everybody's scared.
Israel expands operations on the ground in Gaza.
We are conducting our sweep and clear activities.
The fears for civilians and hostages and the growing humanitarian catastrophe.
Any life lost is a tragedy.
Plus, a highway collision leads to a spectacular light show.
Just as we approached it, boom, all of it started going off again.
When a traffic jam turns into a real blast.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina. Reporting tonight, Heather Butts.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news tonight. The suspect in the mass shooting in Maine has been found dead 2 days after fatally shooting 18 people and wounding 13 others. Police say Robert Card died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Like many people, I'm breathing a sigh of relief tonight, knowing that Robert Card is no longer a threat to anyone.
CTV's Geneviève Bushman is in Lewiston, Maine tonight. Geneviève.
Heather, 350 police officers had been scouring the area hoping to track down the suspect, and now they've found him.
The suspect's body was found in a wooded area in Lisbon, a town police had been scouring all day. The town where the last trace of Army reservist Robert Card had been found. Investigators believe he had abandoned this white Subaru by a boat ramp, engine running, a door open, a weapon inside, and they had promised to keep searching this area.
Every minute that this goes on, we're more and more concerned, because what's the next thing that's going to happen? And we understand that, and that's why we're working 24/7.
Joshua A. Seal, 36 years.
Investigators have now identified all 18 victims. They range in age from 14 to 76 years old.
Joseph.
Among them, Josh Seal, one of 4 members of the Lewiston deaf community killed that night.
First and foremost, he was an amazing dad to his 4 kids.
His family, speaking through an interpreter, says Josh was taking part in a cornhole tournament at the bar when the shooting started. He was kind, with a great sense of humor. But what his wife Elizabeth wants her children to remember is what he loved best.
Every morning, he loved his time with you guys, getting you to school and making sure you have a great day, telling you that he loves you, fist bumps.
For days, grief played out during virtual vigils. A lockdown forced people to stay behind closed doors.
It's very hard to grieve. Everyone's keeping to themselves mostly right now.
Earlier tonight, officials had lifted the shelter-in-place orders, still warning residents, though, to be careful. And the community was on high alert. Police had received hundreds of tips. At around 11:30 this morning, dozens of police officers converged on this area here outside Lewiston, en route to Lisbon, where the suspect's car was found. People working on this rural property reported a loud bang. This man from Ontario said he ran for cover.
Well, the helicopter was flying right above us. So as soon as the police came in, they just came to us and said, "Did you hear a gunshot?" Yes. And what was the direction? So we showed them, and that was it.
I hope they catch him for his sake as well as ours, but for everybody's peace of mind. I have questions.
Tammy Aslin and her 10-year-old daughter, Tony, escaped the shooting at the bowling alley, the first of 2 stops of the killing spree. Officials said today it took a minute and a half after the first 911 call for 2 plainclothes officers to reach the scene, but it was already too late.
I saw a person get shot and fall off their stool.
Several reports say Card's body was found near the recycling center from which he was recently laid off, ending this manhunt for the suspect in the worst mass shooting in Maine history. Heather.
Javier, thank you. The tragedy in Maine was marked in a Canadian province today, familiar with such pain.
We will stand for a moment of silence, please.
The Nova Scotia legislature held a moment of silence for the Lewiston victims.
Our hearts go out to our neighbours to the south who are going through an unimaginable tragedy that, as Nova Scotians, we know too well.
22 people died in an horrific shooting rampage in Nova Scotia just 3.5 years ago. The Israeli military says it's expanding ground operations in Gaza 3 weeks after Hamas militants launched deadly attacks inside Israel. The move comes on the same day the United Nations voted for a ceasefire resolution while failing to pass a Canadian amendment. CTV's Kevin Gallagher reports.